Hi everyone, in this video I'll show you how to make your own rusty barbed wire fencing like this in just a few minutes. If you are new to the channel, I make videos about fun, cheap, new and efficient ways to model all sorts of realistic model railroading things in HO scale. So make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss any videos like this one. But let's get started. The barbed wire gets made using 30 gauge copper wire that I stripped out of cables that were used in an old solar battery bank system. You can use any electric wire with the same gauge strands inside. You want to be able to solder the wire, so you don't want any isolation on the wire. Most copper wire have isolation on it, so that won't work. That's why I use the copper wire strands from the cables. Then I separate two of the wires and put one of the ends into a drill and the other end gets clamped to the table. Then simply turn the drill to twist the wire just like this till I got a nice braided wire. And the process gets repeated 3 times. Once done, the ends of the wires get cut clean. Next I use a 6.5mm thick wood rod that gets put into the drill and then the wire gets wrapped around it like this, and the process is also repeated 3 times. Then the wires get stretched out like this. It's important to stretch all the wires out the same amount. And again the ends of the wires get cut clean to make them the same length. They will be soldered together, so to make that easier I'll make a jig to hold them in position. This is simply done by using a piece of plywood, then marking the height of the fence on the wood and pressing some small track pins in. Now I twist the wires into each other like this. Once done, it gets placed into the jig for soldering. When doing fine soldering work like this, a soldering iron with a very fine tip works the best. And it's also important to keep the tip of the soldering iron clean. Next I use the wood to press it flat like this. Now the barbed wire is done, this is how it looks. So let's get started making the fence posts. This is some 1.6mm thick electric wire. I cut a workable length of the wire and just straighten it out with my hands. I don't want the fence post to be perfectly straight because this will be an old crappy rusty fence. Then I remove the isolation from the wire with a knife. This fence will be about 2.5 cm tall, but I cut the post to about 3.5 cm tall to make it easier to install the fence once it's done. After cutting, there'll be a burr on the end of each piece of wire. This is simply removed by sanding or filing it away. This fence will have a post every 4 centimeters. To make soldering the barbed wire to the fence post easy, I drill a hole every 4 centimeters in some wood. Then the fence post gets installed, and I make sure they are all roughly the same height. Again, I make sure the top of my soldering iron is clean. Then I simply solder the barbed wire to the fence post. This is not very easy, but if you take your time you can get very nice results. Once done, the excess barbed wire is cut away. This is how it looks so far. Now all that's left is painting. First I paint the fence silver as the base coat. Once the base coat has dried completely, I start by painting on the rust. This is done by mixing some orange, yellow and brown acrylic paints. I apply the brownish color quite heavily, but the yellow and orange gets lightly dry brushed on, because I want it to be a very subtle effect. It also helps to search on Google for some photos of the type of fence you are modeling as reference. This type of fencing is quite easy to make. It's flexible so you can install it on a curve as well as on uneven terrain, and it looks awesome. I had a lot of fun making this video and I hope you enjoyed watching. If so, please subscribe and like the video, and now go have some fun making some awesome looking rusty barbed wire fencing for your layout, or whatever you want to use it on. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.